So today I am going to start with the new lesson, that is the Mughals and the Marathas. So today in this lesson we are going to see about the rule of Mughals in India from 1526 to 1707 CE. So these are the people, the rulers who ruled over India. So today I am going to explain you all one by one. So first let me start about the Babur. Babur, who established the Mughal rule in India, was originally from Turkestan. His father, Umar Sheikh Mirza, was the king of a small kingdom called Fargana in Afghanistan. Due to the death of his father, Babur had to ascend, sit on the throne at the very young age, at the tender age, that is 11 years. When he was 11 years of old, after the father's death, he has to sit on the throne. That means he has to take up the responsibility of the kingdom. And he had lost his kingship due to the conspiracy. Conspiracy is nothing but his relatives, his family started planning to kill Babur. And what he did, he thought better to get down from the throne and give opportunity to someone else. So like this, what he did, he got down from his throne because his relatives, his own friends only started conspiracy behind him. Enmity grew up when he ascended the throne. And he had to lead a life of a nomad. Nomad means what? Wandering from one place to another place. So all these situations, what happened, motivated him, encouraged him to attack India. Babur invaded, means attacked India for 5 times itself. He defeated the Sultan of Delhi, that is Ibrahim Lodi, in the Battle of Panipat. This Battle of Panipat, it has taken place in 1526 CE, and what he did, he established the Mughal dynasty in India. And this battle is known as the Battle of Panipat. And after winning in this battle, he made Delhi as his capital over a period of 4 years. And what happened? And after that, he defeated Rana Sangram Singh of Mewar, the Rajput king Medini Raya of Chanderi, and Ibrahim Lodi's brother, that is Muhammad Lodi. And after that, again Babur conquered a war of Panipat, Gohar and Kanwar. And what happened? He established Mughal rule over a large area in the North India. So this is about the Babur. And next about the Humayun. Humayun, he is the second second king of the Mughal dynasty, and was the elder son of Babur. And when he had ascended the throne, he had to face many tough problems when he came to power in 1530 CE, such as the problems like unstable in the kingdom and not disciplined. So these are not the troubles he faced. Not only that the troubles from the enemies from the Afghans of Bahadur Shah of Gujarat, and the fightings of his own brothers because he had become the king of the Mughal dynasty. Because of that, internal as well as external fightings, external enmity from the Afghans, internal quarrel between the brothers. So these are all things we can see in the time of Humayun when he became the king of the Mughal dynasty. And with all these things and all, what he did, he conquered Kalinjar, Fort, Dwara, Jaunpur, Chunar Fort, and was injured. So what happened? He took shelter in the Sindh provinces. Sindh provinces is nothing but in the Sindh areas in the north west. And what happened? After taking shelter from some, he has taken shelter for some days. He cured himself all the wounds, but because he was defeated by the Sher Shah. And what happened? Again he came to the power after the death of the Sher Shah. So this is about the Humayun. And the next about the Sher Shah. Here Sher Shah, the original name of Sher Shah was Farid. He was the founder of the Sur dynasty. His childhood was not happy because he was separated from his parents' love, and he wandered for some years. When he was working, so after his childhood, when he came to the adult, he was working he was working under the Bahar, that is Bahar Khan Lohani, and the king of the South Bihar. And he earned the title after killing a tiger in a single hand. He earned the title, that is Sher Khan. And everyone started calling him Sher Shah. But his actual name is Farid. And after killing the tiger, he earned the title, that is Sher Shah. That is Sher Khan. And when Babur took over the administration of India, and this Sher Shah worked under the Babur itself. And he played a very important role also near the Babur. And what happened? Sher Shah, we already know that Sher Shah, he defeated the Humayun and conquered, that is Punjab, Sindh, Multan, Gwalior, Malwa, and Raisindur, and Kalinjar, Marwar. So these are the places, and his empire extended into the entire North India except the areas like Assam, Gujarat, and Kashmir. So this is about the Sher Shah. And next we will see about his administrative system. Whose administrative system? It is Sher Shah's administrative system. Sher Shah gave importance towards the strengthening administrative structure. He was the ultimate overall head of the administration and ran administration with the help of the Council of Ministers. Though he appointed a council of ministers, but overall final judgment was taken by the Sher Shah itself. And he used to look after both the civil and the military powers. Common people as well as the military powers were in the hands of the king itself. And the entire kingdom was divided into Sarkar, that is regions, and Parganas. And in his army there were the troops like cavalry, infantry, and the elephant. These are the divisions in his army. In whose army? In the Sher Shah's. Cavalry, the one who ride the horses. Infantry, that is foot soldiers. Elephant, that is the one who sits on the elephant and drives. And among these, the cavalry was an important and powerful in his administration. In order to bring discipline among the soldiers, what he did, he started taking attendance of the soldiers itself. And not even that, stamping down for horses. Army was divided into small units called, that is a fauj, with the head of faujadar. So Sher Khan took personal, very keen interest in organizing, in supervising, monitoring, regulating the army and all. And he got all the cultivable land measured, and he also fixed a land tax. And he divided the land into 3 types, that is good, average, and the lower. And the farmers had to pay tax, that is 1/3 of the cultivable crop land as a land tax. And Sher Shah was known for his impartial justice. That means he not used to do any kind of partiality. So everyone Wednesday and Wednesday evening. Sher Shah brought a new silver coin known as a dam into circulation. That means it is an economic activity. Not only that, others and all the other Mughal kings continued this same practice. On either side, what he did, not only that he had done some welfare activities, also work also for the welfare of the people and for the welfare of the society. That what he did, either side of the road, he constructed the shade giving trees. Not only that, he had he planted them. Not only that, 1700 shelters for travelers. These are all things were constructed by the Sher Shah. So this is about the administrative system of the Sher Shah. So here in the next class again I am going to continue with my same lesson, students. I hope so you all understand. If you have any queries, any doubt, you all can contact me. Thank you so much.